Hey guys, guess what?
Hey guys.
There's actually women in the house.
Women in the house.
Woo, 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 woo.
Girls'
Okay,
night out.
so we got to test everybody's sound first off and foremost. Trisha, will you talk and see if everyone can hear you fine?
Hi guys.
Okay. And
Hey.
Sandy, um,
Hello,
thank you,
everybody.
thank you guys for coming. Um,
I heard.
all right, and yeah, Osama, that was fantastic music. I finally got it working with the graphic. Can you hear it?
Yep, I heard it. Look, it sounded good.
Did you hear Trisha?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. Sweet, sweet. Yay. Actual women on Women's Wednesday. Imagine that. Oh my good Lord.
I
So,
stayed up.
yeah, so anyway, Book Hermit. Yay. Um, Val, always nice. Keith, Jean. Yay. Um, who am I missing? Torstein. Thanks for coming.
Have notes.
Yeah, I'm not a human. Yes, human. Human says audio is good. Yay. Thank you, human. We always need that. You miss Val. Torstein misses Val. That's my honorary woman. He's always a good stand-in when I can't get other women. But, women are hard to find in the Doomosphere.
I actually can't see the chat. I see participants, but I don't see the chat in this thing. Let me
Oh,
see if it goes.
Oz.
No,
Hi, Oz is in the
out.
house too.
Pop out. No, I don't want that either. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you do. Pop out
Yeah,
stuff.
but now it's huge. No, I have it on here.
Oh, okay. Then
So I'll
don't worry
just do
about it.
that.
Then don't worry about it. It's all
I
good.
won't.
So, oh, Michael Cooper's here too. Hey, Michael. Okay, so basically, I'm just going to tell you about my hellacious week so far after Monday. Um,
Hi, Jean.
we have had the coldest temperatures like ever in October. Like we were 10 degrees in October. That is insanely cold. Um,
Yeah, that's insane.
our normal um is like our normal low is like in the 30s in October. We were actually in or yeah, in the teens, and it was 10 degrees, which is an all-time record cold for October here. Our normal high is in the 50s, and right now our high today was 31. So really insane weather going on here. That Arctic blast coming down from, now people would think, well, don't you believe in the solar minimum then? But no, no.
No,
Sorry,
and
this
there's
is
more
because the
explanation.
oceans are warming and weakening the jet stream, allowing Arctic air to float down into the US. That's what it's about, people. So don't go into the solar minimum thing with me. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
She's laying the ground rules right now.
I am. I don't want people to go into the solar minimum because we have record breaking cold temperatures, but it just offsets because of what's going on in California, which I believe Trisha wants to talk about some of that. And
Mm.
and then New York, your temperatures today were what, 75?
Yesterday it was 75 and it was insane. And then today it has just gone down. It's in the 50s, but it's usually about the 40s, 50s. I have the wood stove on to get the dampness out. It started raining.
Oh,
We Yeah, but I didn't need to have, I mean, yesterday I had the wood stove on in the morning. The house was like 85 degrees.
we have our kerosene, our old fashioned. We have a really old fashioned kerosene stove that we use, and it
Yeah.
keeps this upper level so
Yeah.
warm. It's so nice. I know it's
Oh,
still fossil fuel and all, but I think
that's what our Amish neighbors use, kerosene. They do use kerosene.
it's really nice and it's super safe to use in the house. Plus the lantern, just a lantern. It's I don't know. I don't
So
know.
what happened, Chris? Tell us your story.
Oh yeah,
And
okay.
hi, Trisha.
I just started. Um, yeah, so the record cold temperature. So we had a snowstorm in October that caused a huge accident into this the valley that I was not. It's kind of a valley, the Twila Valley. There's two main roads that go in there, and that's it. That's your only choices. There's an accident right there. It took me 3 hours to go like 20 miles, basically.
Ugh,
Three
3 hours.
hours. We were crawling. I was crawling at 2 miles an hour, and oh my God, I didn't get home till 8 o'clock last night, and my internet wasn't working.
That's
on
the
my
worst part.
phone. Yeah, because normally I'd be listening to YouTube or whatever all the way, and I would have been fine. But no,
Right.
no, that wasn't working. So I was just listening to the car radio that was just gave me no details of why I was in that much traffic. But apparently it was a car accident because someone related to our family just went
Is
by
it a
into this.
straightaway highway? Is it just flat and straight?
Yeah,
Or is
flat
it
and
go? Yeah.
straight. But people here are idiots. They're idiots. The minute it gets even a little bit slick, they don't care. They go just as fast as if it was dry, and then they sped out and crash and cause all kinds of jam traffic. It's insane. People
Mm,
here are so bad. They're the
I don't
worst
know. I think they're
drivers. I
getting
swear to
worse
God.
everywhere.
Oh yeah, but they're really
Well,
bad
I'm
here.
sorry you went through that.
Yeah,
That
it
sucks.
was not
I didn't
fun.
leave the house today.
Yeah, so thank God you guys are here because I had no time to prepare anything but the stuff I had planned for Monday that we never got to. So,
Oh.
which we always do that. Me and Val were like, "Oh, we could talk about this, we could talk about that," and then we don't get to half of it. But I'll hit that at the end. It's no big deal. I want to hear what you guys have to say because you guys are here. Yay!
Well, I know that Trisha has fire on her mind, and I have cop
Fire and snow,
25.
fire and
Yeah,
ice.
fire
Fire
and
and
snow,
snow.
and I have cop 25 on my mind.
Oh yeah,
Wonder
we're
the
gonna get
audience
there.
what they want to talk about. What do you
Oz,
guys think
do
they
you
want to
have
talk about?
bedhead tonight? Yeah, probably. Do I have bedhead? Does my hair look that bad? Uh,
Well, I can do my little thing. It'll be
I'm
quick.
like, yeah,
Anybody
bedhead.
want to talk about the
No,
cancellation
I've
of
had
cop?
a long day, so
I
yeah.
think you look
It's ha
beautiful.
it's Halloween in New Zealand, so that's why I've got the silly hat on,
That's
It's
awesome.
not silly. I think it's cute.
which is going to fall off anyway. So I'm going to
Oz
take it
knows
off.
how insecure I am, and he's telling me, asking me if I have bedhead. Thank you, Oz. I love you.
You're funny. Well,
Oh, Moose
okay.
Gal's here. I haven't seen her
Yes, she is. I
forever.
saw her on Let the Madness Begin in the chat. And I see Jean
I know
every
I've
day.
been. Oh
I'm
wow.
listening on my headphones. I walk around the house with the phone, put it down, pick it up, doing, my stuff. Because today was, I've been doing, we still have vegetables. I have the rest of the beets and we have Brussels sprouts and all kinds of crap I've been working on
Oh,
nonstop.
fun.
It's fun because I'll have food,
Oh
where
yeah, I
I
love
don't buy
doing my
vegetables.
canning. I was sad when we had our first frost so early and
Yeah.
everything that we couldn't get out of the garden died, but I did get all my
Wait
green
a minute. Some
tomatoes.
things are salvageable, aren't they?
I got everything that
Brussels
was
sprouts?
out,
Okay.
everything that was salvageable, but which is mostly my tomatoes. Right before the first frost, I picked them
Right.
all, and I had a ton of green tomato. They're still green, so I made salsa verde out of them. So
Nice.
they're all. I have like 16 jars of salsa verde that I canned up. So
Send me one.
I should. I wonder how I can send it
Yeah.
safely.
Christmas present.
Yeah, that would be a good Christmas
Yeah.
present. You'll have to tell me how I
We
could
we
safely.
have
Well,
to make
if
a
I take it to
Christmas
UPS, then they can figure out how to ship it safely, right?
Yes, Chris, you could pack it. That would be
Yeah.
fun. We could send each other vegetables.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I'd have to
cool.
send you on dry ice because I was too lazy. I didn't get the new rings for the top of my jar. So
Oh
I freeze, I flash freeze, I freeze, I cook, I make soup, I freeze it all. But if I lose my power and sometimes that
yeah.
shit happens here in this little municipality and I'm not solar yet.
It's
I
cans.
lose my
That's why
food.
cans better because it's keeps. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
And
but
plus, there's the moisture in it. So if you don't have water, like the freeze dried, I always worry about the freeze dried because there's no. If you're having a shortage of water, you don't want to add water to your food. You want it already to have water in it.
yeah, we have no
So,
shortage of water here. It's raining now.
well, you're lucky. I live in the desert. We're in the second driest
Oh,
state in the nation. So
let me send you some water.
there you go.
Well, so Trisha, we're blabbing.
Yeah.
Get in a word.
A word, fire. Fire. California's burning. And
Yes.
it's terrible. USA Today on YouTube has put out some stats saying the fires are getting bigger, lasting longer, and starting sooner. And lightning or human cause, like cigarettes or something like that. And it is also starting to bite into the insurance industry. So a lot of people, or some people, have been having their fire insurance, property premiums put up, or being denied insurance. So it's having a profound effect on
Yes,
California and the
it
economy
will
there and
be.
everything else. Yeah.
PG&E, that lovely publicly
PG&E,
traded capitalist corporation that loves to
Oh
neglect
yeah,
their,
they're a
their
not
menace.
stuff, but
maintaining the grid.
yeah, but their
Yeah,
shareholders are happy.
they're what?
Their
Their
shareholders
shareholders
are happy until their house burns down.
until their house in Malibu disappears. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sorry, I'm involved in the chat. Like we have
That's
new
okay.
people.
I wanted to talk about the cop because this morning
Yeah,
when I
do.
woke up, the first thing was, okay, the cop is canceled. And what I knew was I was really excited because Stuart Scott from Scientists Warning is going and he's been ill. And I was just excited for that. And that I'm excited. I'm a nerd every year for it because you get to see so many wonderful scientists on Scientists Warning TV. And I've seen, I mean, Kevin Anderson, and guess who was going again? Paul Beckwith. So now,
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He said
yes,
that on his one of his.
yes, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be such a great opportunity for all of us. And even though, I don't like to be this pessimist, but even though they've been doing it since 1992, it's the it's the Conference of the Parties, but it's their climate change conference, and it started with the letter, uh, with the scientists warning, and everything's gotten worse. Nothing's
Uh-huh.
gotten better. Chile canceled it because their actual all of the trouble started because of the raise in the metro fares, because the government was going to try to implement getting off fossil fuels more and putting solar and wind energy in place. And people, because of income inequality, which is happening all over the world, freaked out. That's how the yellow vest started. So,
Mhm.
oops. So obviously that happened. So the president of Chile, I mean, first it was supposed to be in Brazil, and Bolsonaro. We know what he's like.
Oh yeah.
That's another fascist piece of shit. So that's they're not going to have it there. And of course, could we have it at the Trump Doral? I'm sure he might be in for it.
Oh
Yeah, well,
yeah.
climate change denier in chief.
Yeah.
Let's have it at the Doral in
Let's have
Miami.
a
It smells
Chinese
so nice.
hoax convention, right?
Yeah, so I'm disappointed, and I'm really hoping that that something happens. I mean, Greta was on her way. There are from Europe. There's school climate strike kids in the middle of the ocean sailing there. And what they've decided to just have their own conference right on board.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Good
so
for
there's a lot
them.
of stuff you'll see. Even though it's canceled, these people will find a way, and no matter what, I know all my today online, all the naysayers were saying, well, it's what, 27 years, and we're burning more carbon than ever. Population is one of the number one reasons. It says so right on the Scientist Warning website. So that was my day, was following that, because
I wish I could
besides
have
other,
followed that more. I had
well,
the
you weren't
worst time. Is it
honest.
just me that's having trouble with um YouTube and stuff lately? It's so insane. It like buffers and buffers and buffers, and it's only showing me like frou-frou sites, like um entertainment stuff, instead of the channels I'm subbed to. It's like,
You have to go and look through your list.
I know, but I don't always have time. And when I'm trying to
Right.
drive and I don't have time to look at my phone because I'll wreck, and usually I just go to my.
Do it before you leave. Pick what you want
Well, I
before you
try,
leave.
but I drive like I need to find something that's super long, like over an hour,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
every drive I have is over an hour. So I
Mm.
need something long, or I have to find something else. And I just go into my notifications and like, okay, I like, and you just see the little symbol. So you're like, okay, click on that and I'll listen to that. But I can't do that because every time I do that, it's some dog video or cat video or something.
cat video.
is something so substanceless.
It's so
It's
inane.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, book hermits here. Climate action is a hoax, though. Okay, well, you know what? It's not a hoax, book.
Chris Foster's
It's just
here.
not.
Yay.
It's not a hoax for people. I think maybe the ways that are happening right now, I've listened to a lot of differing views um, on the
I'm
activism that's
pretty
going on.
sure he already knows how we feel. He's just being obstinate like he does. But
Yeah,
Chris Foster's here. Jilly Love just showed up. Hi, Jilly.
yeah.
Gazar's here. I
Jean
didn't know
says
you
define
lived
the
in.
word hoax.
I didn't know Gazar lived in Yorkshire with Chris. Well, not with him, but in Yorkshire where Chris lives. Chris
Oh,
Foster.
Julie love.
So, enter. Oh, Aunt Tina's here. I haven't seen you forever. Where have you been? Fax, facsimile. I can't say that. Anthropomorphic facsimile, I think is what it is.
I always call her
Anthropomorphic.
anthrofax.
I call her. She said
Oh, you said
Antina.
it.
That's
Anthropomorphic.
anthropomorphic, yeah. But I'm not going to say that every time. So she said Antina, so that's who she is. She's Antina. That works for me.
Hi, Antina. So,
Oh,
Trisha, what's it like there in beautiful
Weather,
New Zealand?
what's the
no, it's
weather?
freezing cold. It's grey and freezing cold. We had crazy winds yesterday.
Oh,
What is the typical?
good to know, Tanya.
Um,
Hi, Tanya Delaney, by the way. Thanks for coming. Um,
4 seasons in one day at the moment. It's bizarre. So you never know what to wear.
yeah,
And
that's the way it is here too. Like,
yeah,
especially in the fall and the spring. Like one minute it'll be like 30 degrees, the next minute it'll be
so,
60. So, and it's getting
yeah.
worse and worse. Like we had a 60-degree temperature difference in 24 hours recently, a few weeks ago. So it's just nuts. I mean, that's just the new normal, basically, is the new normal is not normal.
Oh,
Not
Jilly had a
normal.
good comment. I
Mm.
think she was right. I think people are fed up with how elected aren't listening to the people. No,
Mhm.
you're right, Jilly.
Yep,
I
yep.
concur. They don't listen. But even though, Greta and XR and other groups are in the Sunrise Movement, they're all trying to get
Yeah, but it's not
the
just
government,
them. There's a whole bunch of other like
but they're
Chile.
not going,
Chile's
they're not
having
listening.
protests. Ecuador, I think Bolivia. Oh my gosh, there's so many uprisings going on right now. It's like more than I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think
So
that's what's going to, well,
yeah,
it is already happening.
yeah.
That's what's
The
going to
major
be
news isn't covering the corporate media isn't covering all of them. So I mean they'll cover one and then they won't touch the other ones for a while and then they'll cover another one, but they don't cover them all at once. They don't say this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
right.
If they did it all at once, it'd probably freak people out. So they're trying to put it on the down low and just cover one at a time. But they're all happening simultaneously,
Hmm.
and it's just crazy. So there's that. Okay, Trisha. So let us know what's going on in New Zealand with the snow
Um, there was a
or
article
lack
in
thereof, maybe.
Nicole. There was a story in the paper last week or the week before. There's a big ski resort um, west of here, in the middle of the bottom of
Thirsty.
the South Island, and they're saying that they're having to make snow these days, and the season's all over the place. Starts late or is very short. They're saying there'll be no snow in just a few short years' time at all, basically.
Really?
So that's kind of serious because these are world famous ski resorts. It's very beautiful in Queenstown. Kiwis, any Kiwis or Kevin has to watching this will know what I'm talking about. It's very beautiful. Lakes, mountains, high tourist place. Lots of famous people come here to ski, and some also live here, live over there. It's stunning, and but without snow, that's major because it's always had a lot of snow in the past.
That's
So
so
I
weird
think,
though, because you have that cooling right now, and so the
yeah,
snow's still not coming, but you have the cooling, the stratospheric warming that's pushing the cold air over New Zealand. So it's cooler than
and the
normal.
warm air's on top, and
Yeah,
and
yeah, the
this,
hot air's up top and pushing the cold air down. but the
That's
snow
right.
is still
Yeah.
going away, or is it just no moisture, no precipitation with that going on? Or does it?
There is snow. I think there's not enough of it. I think it's erratic. They can't predict winter. When I was a journalist, I used to write about write ski supplements and would say the ski season's opening, and I think traditionally it was May. And it was usually around the same time of year. And this is in the 90s we're talking about. But now it's all over the place. So, winter opener. And it's later and later, I think, and they're having to make snow as well as to supplement the falls that they do have.
Yeah,
So
so
the
So
they have to do that
humidity
too.
is low.
everything is oscillating wildly, even in the middle of winter, between warm and cold. It's not predictable. It's not like it used to be when you knew it was winter, and it's sort of
Yeah, it's kind of
I
the same
all
think
as
over
that's
the
how it's
place.
here. That's how it's going to be here
Yeah,
yeah.
this
I
way
yeah.
last
We live
Well,
in
from
right
what I
around ski resorts are surrounding us. Like there's a lot of ski resorts in Utah. We're known as the greatest snow on earth, but it's not so great
Park
anymore.
City, yeah,
Yeah, there's Park City,
Park
there's
City.
Brighton, there's Solitude, there's Sundance, there's uh oh my gosh, there's so many. I mean, Deer Valley, I can there's so many. I can't remember all of them, but there's so many ski resorts here. But
yeah,
yeah, their season is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. We used
yeah.
to
Yeah.
ski up there in July, in Park City at times, and you haven't seen that for a while. But who knows what's going to happen this year? But it seems like our summers are hotter, so I don't know, and our winters,
And later, summer seems to be later as well. Or here it does. It's
I don't know.
fairly
Yeah, yeah,
bizarre.
we have even though we had super super cold temperatures because they were so cold, all the
Hmm.
snow that did fall stuck to the ground and made ice. But generally, when we get a snowstorm, we get 4 or 5 inches. But this was only like a barely like an inch of snow, and it was causing all kinds of accidents because it was instantly freezing to the road in October. 10 degrees is something I haven't seen um, since like 2007 when we first moved in here. So this is unbelievable. I mean, and that was in the middle of December and January. It wasn't in October for sure.
Yeah.
October's 50s, you know,
And it
sometimes
Hmm.
all equates with what Paul Becker has said about the jet streams
60s.
being
Out of
out of
whack.
kilter. They're
Out of
moving
whack.
all over the place. They're
Yeah, they're
going
getting
up and
super
down. They're
wavy, dipping down
moving.
because of the
Yeah,
warming waters. When the waters were cold, it kept the jet stream tight and up around the Arctic. But now the Arctic's melting and the waters are getting warmer. It's allowing the jet stream to weaken and dip way down into the U.S.
way down and up again.
And
But it's
then there's
mostly
the
going to the Midwest
ocean
and the
oscillation.
East. But right now it's hitting us. So it's
And apparently, the jet stream thing is causing a lot more airplane turbulence. There's
yeah,
a
I've heard
few
that too. Like it's getting
few
insane.
in-flight videos on YouTube where the plane's just going absolutely crazy. And I've flown a lot, lived in several different countries and
Yeah,
flown a
they're
lot
going
for
to have to
work,
watch out for
but I've
wind
never
shear.
experienced anything like they're filming now. And that's terrifying.
I have.
So
You
I've
go
yeah,
down, poof, up. Yes, couple of
mm,
times. But wind
mm,
shear is actually going to be more severe. It is more severe, but they have to be implementing training programs for pilots, and they don't pay
mm.
some of the airlines. They don't pay. My nephew's a pilot.
Training.
He's doing all right, but they don't pay the greatest salaries to the freshmen.
No,
And
no, they start
these are
out at
the
the bottom rung, like you're.
right. That's why
Yeah.
we had a big, humongous crash here, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, right in a residential area. And they paid these people like 25,000 a year. They were flying it was a prop,
God.
but it was a big prop. And it was like one of those I used to take for work back and forth from Buffalo to Albany, Buffalo, in the days of flying.
Well, there's a shortage of pilots too. They're trying to get more women in there. I know my daughter, she went to flight school and they were begging her to go into that, but that wasn't for her. She decided she didn't want to do it. So,
Right.
um,
I think it's going to get increasingly stressful. There's more and more planes in the air every year as well. I mean,
we
that
just need to
makes
get
no
them out of the
sense.
air.
Absolutely.
Just stop it.
that
You just
just
ask
makes no
your
sense.
phone what's on top of you, and you get a whole list of everything that's flying from all the airports. I've got Toronto,
Yeah,
Buffalo, Albany, in a 500-mile radius, I've like 6 big airports. So there's always something. And holidays, you can tell because, of course, the cap trails. You can see
I
them
love that term, by the way.
altitude. I made it up with
I
him, but
know you
I go
did.
first.
I watched that video, but don't
Oh,
tell
I'm being so
Osama
obnoxious.
that, because Osama doesn't like that.
Oh,
I
Osama,
am.
I love you. We love you.
We
You
love
can,
you so
you
much.
know what you feel. I respect you. I don't have a difference. It's the way my perception, all of our worldviews are different.
I don't care
And
enough to check into it because I just want all the planes out of the air anyway.
yeah,
That's my
but
view, so I
the
don't care
plane
because they're
traffic
bad
is,
enough
it's
without
insane.
geoengineering. And then there's Edward Snowden. I
I
don't know
don't
if
even
y'all
want to go there.
caught, yeah,
Yes.
but there was
Joe Rogan,
yeah, on Joe Rogan. So
he was
there's
great.
that, and he was deep into that. But they're geoengineering in all kinds of ways anyway. I'm very much
It's,
aware.
of
My
course,
husband works
they,
for the airport,
oh, he
and
does?
and he knows they do cloud seeding and all that. That's geoengineering. That stuff happens. And you
Yeah.
don't know what other corporations are doing, private corporations are doing, and you don't know what other governments are doing. So, you know, I just don't think there's a way we can get down to the bottom of it. If we just get the planes out of the air, I'd be very happy.
I do
Um,
like what Edward said about it, though. I thought he was right on talking about basically the enormity, that the enormous effort to be made, and of course, he was talking from a person that would say, how could we not have leaks?
oh
And I'm not
yeah,
talking
and but
manufactured people that come up and say that they know this stuff with
right.
no.
But the biggest thing, the major media, the corporate media clung on to that whole entire interview, and it was all over all of them, was the thing about aliens. With all the other
Yeah,
important
Oh
stuff
my
he
God.
talked about,
yeah,
that's the one thing that they're like, oh, Edward Snowden came said they didn't have
three
there's
days
no
it
proof
took
of
me to
aliens.
listen.
I'm like, are you kidding me? That's the only thing that you're gonna take out of that whole entire conversation that was talking about how our cell phones are spying on us and all that crap, and you're gonna go for that? Like that's the most
Yeah.
important thing to take out of that interview? Screw
Turn
you,
it off at
corporate
night
media.
when you go to sleep.
Yeah, turn it off every chance you get. I mean, it's bad enough I have to
That
use a GPS thing on my phone for my work, so they know
that
where
sounds
I'm at.
like the way the me that sounds like the way the media or some media used to treat women. They didn't. Maybe she'd done something amazing like climb Mount Everest or something, but they just focus on the fact that she was blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, blonde and busty or something.
Oh, Basil's here. Hi, Basil.
Yeah, Basil just said there's good a flood watch there, so I'm looking to see if there's anything here.
Did I say hi to Jean yet? I'm not sure if I did. Hi,
I
Jean.
did. It's so
Yay.
nice to
And
see.
Scott Murtaugh's here, too.
Hi, Scott. I want to look and see it. Well, I don't
Snowden
think we're
talked
getting.
geoengineering in 2013, as Sun said.
Mm,
Intelligent dust. It's everywhere in everything. You know? Yeah, I'm not putting it past anybody, and there is like, there's
okay, what are we
plastics all
getting?
over the air. Every single time they run a jet engine, you're putting crap in the air.
Hmm.
So it doesn't, to me, it's like iceberg Goldberg. It just is. It's like, get rid of it. Stop it. Just stop all of it.
Like it's a byproduct of our lifestyles.
Mhm.
That is the burning of carbon and the byproducts from jet fuel and all that. It is human caused. I just don't think it is intentionally being done. And I kind of was happy that Edward Snowden explained it like he did. But then that's all I'm going to say on the topic
Yeah,
because
let's move on. That was enough time
I'd
spent on
actually
that
like to
topic.
move on a little bit more if
Yeah,
Trisha
yeah.
wants to talk
There's
about the fires a little bit more,
so
if
many
she
more
has
topics
more.
to get to, anyways. So it's all
Where
good.
else in the world is burning besides California?
Ah, ah,
Australia. Australia's on fire again now
yeah.
too.
Australia's on
I think,
fire. Of course,
yes,
the
it was out.
Amazon's on fire.
Well, wait, Australia was outside of a city, though. I read it today too, but
Congo.
I don't remember what city it was.
Um,
You know what I've been thinking though? Sooner or later, it's gonna. I mean, it was really close to LA the last few days, and I was thinking it's not long before it's gonna take a city. If you know
That's
what I mean.
scary.
It's not long before it's gonna really get into a city, and you think about that, you think about these petrol stations that are going to go up. So it's going to be uncontainable almost, isn't it? With the speed that those winds are blowing those embers and spreading the fire, when it goes through a city, I just think that'll be unimaginable.
Well, this is what California's what they're trying to prevent by shutting power off to millions, and it's costing the state, which is what the world's seventh largest economy, billions, changing
Yeah.
people's lives. But and then people say, well, why couldn't they be buried? Now that's another
Mm-mm.
whole thing.
Oh God, you can. I
Everything
think
in that
it's a good
terrain
thing.
all over California, though, that terrain, you know how much how much planet eating would be involved?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But I think it's a
Oh,
good thing that they're shutting off the power to all those people because maybe that will wake some people up.
I hope so. It's called prepping, I guess. Maybe the prepper channels will get more. Maybe we should become prepper channels,
You
girls.
know what? I like to think that I talk a little bit about prepping because I think it's very important to learn how to grow your own
Yeah.
food, learn how to can, preserve food, anything
Well, it's
you
very
can do.
important.
Well,
So I kind of have a little prepper side on my channel, just a little. I mean, just because I care
Canadian
about all you guys
Prepper's
too.
really good.
What's that?
Canadian Preppers,
Oh
Canadian
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Preppers a really good
He's a
YouTube channel.
he's a
He's quite
staple.
reasoned. He's not like some really out there sort of person. He makes it sound quite reasonable. And
He
he just
is,
put out one.
and
He just put
he
out one about prepping for
understands climate
wildfires.
change a little
I need a
bit.
cup of
So
Yes,
coffee. I
a
forgot
lot.
I made
Yeah.
one.
okay, go get your cup of coffee.
Yeah, do you have to take me off or
Mine's getting
something?
cold.
You're fine.
All right, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay, okay. Yeah, but anyway, no, I love Canadian Pepper. I watch him all the time. He has some really good tips of ways you can
Really good
prep
stuff.
for it. Not that I think it's going to save you, but it may give you, time enough to figure out how you're going to deal with things. Or it might. You never know. You never know.
I would just love to go off grid. I mean, it's really out there and rural here, but I mean, I would love to
I
have a
would.
big organic garden.
Mm,
Just go with nature and not worry too much about anything. But
yeah,
I
that
don't
would be
know if
great.
that's going to be possible.
Like Lear Keith talked about, it's like it's so much easier to go out and gather your food, from nature than it is to go to a job, and all that hamster wheel stress you have in society. It would be
Yes.
so much less stress, and I agree with that. I'd rather worry about how I'm gonna stay warm and have all day to figure that out and eat and all that.
And how well the avocado trees are doing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Real stuff.
real
Stuff that
stuff
really
like
matters.
reality. Like Derek Jensen says, there's reality, which is like anything that's not man-made is reality. Everything that's man-made is not reality.
It's
So it's like,
utterly fake.
yeah, everything that occurs in nature is actual reality, and people don't. Um, I mean, people think reality is what's on their cell phone or what's on their computer, what's on the movie screen, what's in a mall, what's in a grocery store, and that's not actually reality. I mean, when you're going up into the
Hey,
mountains and you're dealing with actual nature and being there, that's when I feel most comfortable. So I'm like, yeah, that would be a great life just to do that all the time. I don't care if it took me a while to find the food and figure it out. I don't care. I mean, I would rather die that way than
yeah.
live this way. I don't know if that makes sense.
But
That might be a little drastic, but you get the
guess
point.
what? Guess what'll happen, especially in America? Hang on a sec. I found the story. I'll just go grab it.
Okay. Yeah, so Trisha's gonna go grab a story. Um, let's see what everyone's saying. Building huge cities across a blasted desert is generally a bad idea. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
And it's a growing city too, like 260 something% growth expected in one of our desert cities here. Like there's no water. There's no water. Um, yeah, that's fun. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Trisha.
Yeah, there's a place called Burnett County, which is in Wisconsin.
Hmm.
Beautiful rural area. People have gone there so they can have family farms or have more sort of traditional agriculture and also go off grid. And they want to put a great big factory farm in the region of pigs, which will do absolutely terrible things to the landscape. It'll have a flow-on effect on quite a wide area into the rivers. Yeah, the smell, everything else. I mean, there's lots and lots of stats that they're pumping up. But the locals objected to it long enough and hard enough that they actually got it put on hold. And they're saying to people, this is what you guys can do if you all get together, if people sort of got together in the local communities, start protesting and even take legal action against things like this, you can make a difference.
Yeah,
I
here
just
they
thought
just
that was
arrest you
interesting.
if you try. We have a whole group of people trying to stop the inland port that they're trying to build here. So, um, all of them are getting arrested, and
Wow.
it's just ridiculous. The inland port, they haven't even done an environmental impact study on it. They just skipped over that, and it's
They didn't
horrible.
do one on this
That's so
pig
corrupt.
farm either.
Yeah,
Apparently it takes years to do an environmental
yeah,
impact, or
Oh,
the
here,
locals.
because FERC is corrupt now, and so nothing, everything's going to get through. In the
yeah.
states that
It was
fight,
always kind
New
of
York
corrupt.
fights. Yeah.
Monsanto worked with the EPA
Mhm.
to skip over all the regulations. So it's always been corrupt. It's worse now by far.
Well, it's worse because there's nobody working there.
Yeah, well, yeah, they cut that department
FERC and the
horrendously.
EPA
Yeah.
are just like,
So,
forget it.
but yeah, now
And
they're
it's
totally screwed. I mean, and this is what bugs me. Okay, I know there's a if Jeremy and stuff is still on here, and Blake, I'm not sure where Blake stands actually, but I'm pretty sure Jeremy's pretty right wing. Anyway, the thing that bothers me about the right wing is they don't give a crap about the environmental issues, even though they're the most likely to want to have children and families and care mostly about the family values, correct?
And the
So,
fetus. Mhm.
and the fetus, where all these environmental issues affect that more than anything. I mean, I was like, I keep that baby, but it's okay if it's poisoned, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
don't,
It's
oh my
hypocrisy, but there's hypocrisy on all sides. Right
Yeah,
now,
no, you don't have to tell me that. I know that.
side, but the right side just happens to be way more they're hypocrites. They're gaslighting the country. They're a bunch of friggin' mobster liars. It's disgusting. It makes me sick.
Yeah,
Get
but
me
aren't
started.
you?
And the left side wants to silence the people that are the best people, and then they want to have, they want
They
to.
want the same thing as the right side. They're just nicer at saying it. Like they're
Not the
sneaky.
Justice
yeah.
Democrats, not the different, the younger ones that were fighting,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Well, they
the
may be different. I'm still gonna hold out and see if they stick to their guns. And I just
so
got
far they
really
are.
disillusioned with the 2016 election. So,
Yeah, but
there's
it's
that.
not
But
that. And even though everybody says it doesn't fucking matter, we're tipped, we're at the tipping point, whatever. I still got my, I gotta not hopium. Just I want to see something happen.
I
I
want
would
to see
like
something
to
happen
see
too.
something exciting happen, and not Tea Party, right wing conservative bullshit exciting. I'd
Right.
like to see Medicare for all before we all freaking die. And I'd like to see, I'd like to see that vision, that progressive vision. It's not so hard to want to see,
No,
no
I
matter what the
no,
naysayers say.
I understand where you're coming from. I totally do. And I would love to see Medicare for all happen because it's hard to watch people you love suffer. And
Yeah.
especially, kids that aren't getting medical care, especially in this state because they didn't expand Medicaid here. They just refused to.
No,
And
they
and they
didn't,
were just
because it's
talking
a
on the
right wing
news
state.
today about some of these people whose kids were on CHIP and they don't find out that they have been booted off of it till they go for a doctor's appointment. And they're just finding out now.
Our
So,
country is
How,
turning into a
how,
cruel, ugly place.
here's a question though. How successful is the medical system? Because it is very
Medicare
strong, very,
system.
very, no, the actual medical system, because it is very strong, very powerful. But the health outcomes get worse and worse and worse. I mean, more people are sick, more people have
they
sick
don't
kids,
care.
more,
They don't care.
more kids have
Because it's for
cancer.
profit.
Yeah, because they're
Everything
making
that's
Yeah,
money off of
always
it.
for profit
yeah.
is and the more money you have, the better outcome you have.
Well, that whole system, the
Yeah.
privatized system of insurance, is all based on paying out as little as possible and collecting as many fees as possible, and
But
denying it's in their
only
business
if
plan
you
to
do it their
deny.
way.
What?
Only if you do it their way. If you go through the traditional system and you get medicated up to the eyeballs and vaccinated up to the eyeballs and cut and pasted up to the eyeballs if you have to have an operation.
I am in the medical
It,
matrix.
but people who do things with the health and fitness way and more of a natural diet, they don't subsidize healthy. They don't encourage people to be healthy in that way. They don't subsidize anything alternative.
You
Medical
know,
cannabis is
it's
an
funny
example
you
of that.
said that. You're talking about that people should get discounts if in the private sector.
If
You
you're
know,
healthy,
when I
yeah.
started in my career, I was in worksite health promotion, and our program and our project and our research, and I was published in the Journal of Health Promotion and all kinds of things with the professors I was working with.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was based on the healthier you were, that you would get discounts on
Incentives,
your
bonus,
insurance
yeah.
and all that. And we tried to make this uh, a program. This was even before the
Mandatory.
Affordable
It
Care
doesn't
Act.
work. It doesn't work. You have to pay the
You know
same amount
what?
in
When the
Yeah,
to
but
to
this was when
balance
we
it
we
out
were
between sick
trying,
people and healthy people, and you have to have as
right?
many
But
people
it
in the
was
pool
through
as
work site.
possible.
It
But
was through your work site. It was
yes,
what it was to try to get people at their jobs and to instill healthy activities and lifestyles that way.
healthy
Cost the
eating,
company less money and people got healthier. It was a really interesting part of my life.
but it didn't
I-
really work
well,
that well, did it? I mean, did it
Well, this was
lower
a
insurance
university
premiums?
project. This was a research project I
Uh-huh.
was,
Oh, okay.
and so we
you
published these things because that's how things get built. And then if somebody took our research and said, okay, we're going to expound on this, who the hell knows what happened to it? You know, because after that, this is how the ACA gets written. This is how all these things get written, by the research, by all of the material that is garnered through universities and through all that to build these programs in the beginning. I mean, to begin with. So, but nothing ever
yeah, but
happened. We never got any more money.
you know why though? Because it's all run by the pharmaceutical industry. And Bill Maher, who is a TV personality in America, obviously has said there's no money in healthy people. There's no money in dead people. Money is somewhere in the middle. They want you alive, kind of, but with enough chronic conditions
Who
so
was
that
it?
they can
Goldman Sachs said there's no money
keep.
in curing people.
Well, it
Yeah,
Only
wasn't Big
yeah,
money in
Pharma that
treating
we got our
people.
money from. It was New York State, but it was also the health insurance companies because they had a vested interest in collecting their premiums, but not having to pay out on sick people. It was
yeah.
pretty, and you know, I mean, I've had experience in that field a long time. I was an HR and benefits manager, so I know it was.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Wow.
were mad when the ACA came in, but because it created a lot of
Oh,
work,
everyone
you know.
here was mad. Everybody was here was mad. But it was a right-wing policy. It was Mitt Romney's plan. Romney
Yeah,
could
they
have.
wrote it all over again.
So yeah, and they just made it
Well,
nationwide, and then it's just screwed up. But okay,
I like
getting
to do
off
that.
that topic a little bit. But aren't you just a little bit happy that Trump has no filter and he just says the stupidest shit to expose the establishment? Like we're just
I don't
gonna.
know if he's exposing the establishment. He is the establishment.
He is the
If he
establishment.
wasn't so silly, what would we talk about?
I know.
Yeah, really.
It's like
Because his Twitter feed is
It's
hilarious
like
and that's,
taking
you
the
know,
oil after
I
he said he
know.
was pulling troops out of Syria, which he never
to
really
take the
did.
oil.
And now he's saying he's just gonna send
Of
troops in
course.
to secure the oil and we get to take some of it. And
Because he's has no
Of course, he
order.
gets to
Right.
take some of it, most of it, probably.
but do you think that's because this is important? Do you think that is because
Uh,
the DOD report saying that the military is going to collapse within 20 years, and it's probably because they take so many fossil fuels to run our military that they're just trying to secure as much fossil fuels as they can.
Is that what you think, that Trump had a briefing on that report and he's reacting to that?
Yes, but he wasn't supposed to say that out loud, is what I think. because he's done with
I'm
it.
not sure. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, one part of me wants to say no, he wasn't briefed, and he just said that because that's the way he thinks. He's been
But
thinking
he
this
didn't.
way forever. That every resource around the world is the United States.
Yeah. Well, I know. Well, yeah.
To take.
But
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
But when
know.
we
I
I'm
can't
just
answer
that's
it.
a thought that just crossed my mind when he
That's a
said
good
that.
thought to cross your mind. That's okay because you're a critical thinker, Chris. And
Well,
but
I
that's
hope
we
so. I don't know. I try to
yes.
be, but I'm not the smartest
Stop
cookie.
it. Don't go there. Critical thinking has
but
nothing, and don't use the you're not smart thing here with me. I'm not buying it.
I'm not the smartest. I am. I think I'm pretty smart. I'm just not the smartest.
I
Okay.
think you've
but,
done
Okay.
but we're just an
with
outpost
your
of the
show.
United States. We're about the 63rd state or something. I mean, it's pretty obvious who's in charge.
Everybody thinks of New Zealand as this like mysterious,
Paradise.
wonderful beauty.
Magical
Yes.
place.
With
Yes.
hobbits,
Yes.
we've got hobbits as well.
Yes, hobbits are fabulous.
Hobbit. I love your
Maggie
accent.
May did a great video on hobbits, and
I wish she would come on.
I know. I don't know what happened. I think she gets
Can you
migraines and
call her
stuff.
on your phone? Oh, she
I
doesn't
don't have
do.
her phone number. I just have
Oh, okay.
her email. Trump is Obama
Do
2.0.
you know
Yeah,
what?
Jeffrey. Yeah, agreed.
Oh, Trump is worse than Obama.
That's what he said. 2.0. Like Trump was the drone king and this and that. I mean, I'm sorry. Both of the right and the left, they're two wings off the same fucking bird. It's just they're the same thing. They're just one
Well,
is
not
a little
all of
bit more
them.
polite than
Mark
the other.
Pocan, Ro Khanna, all of the progressives that are on the progressive caucus and the
Okay, I'm
younger
not talking
people,
about the millennial
pretty cool.
ones, the new ones, the what do you call those
Well,
four?
Mark Pocan's not young, neither is Ro Khanna, but Ro Khanna was a Justice Democrat, and he's on.
I
I
don't
love
have
him.
100% faith in Justice Democrats. I just don't
Well, I
yet.
have
They
a
have to,
little faith in what I
I
hear from the
like them
progressives.
better than the other ones. Okay, I just don't trust our electoral system. I don't trust corruption
Well,
and
we can't.
uh,
That's why we have to listen to what's his name, the guy that.
I don't want to listen to anybody anymore. I
No,
just
he's wonderful. He's a journalist. Oh my God, the election guy.
Tom Hartman.
no,
No, no,
Tom.
no,
I
not a
can't
talk
stand
show guy.
Tom Hartman because he was so
Not
for
a talk
Hillary.
show guy.
I'm not a huge Hartman fan at all.
I
I'm
like
sorry.
Hartman.
I
He's
d-
so bright.
I liked him during the 2016 primary, and then when he went for Hillary, I'm sorry, I could not stomach Hillary. Period. And she's so corrupt. I don't see how
He is so
anyone.
corrupt. Yeah,
There's no way I could even stomach
terrible.
anyone who supported Hillary
Ugh.
for the general. I just
I am
couldn't.
so sick of hearing her name, but I
Me
also
too.
am sick of so-called progressives always talking about them. Stop talking about them. They'll go away. If people fucking stop talking about them, they'll go away. I can't stand it. I cringe. I
Oh,
cringe. I can't stand it.
yes. So don't. Yeah. Well, that's why I don't listen to certain people. But um, yeah, I'm a Jimmy Dore fan because he will
Yeah,
criticize both
well,
sides.
I
I
know
love
his
Jimmy
his
Dore. I like Tim
yeah.
Black for the politics side, but he never talks about climate, so I hardly ever listen to him anymore. He doesn't talk about environmental issues. And so everyone who doesn't talk about environmental issues have gone off my radar. I don't even fucking care. That's the most important issue. If you're not talking about it, then I don't want to listen to you. I will
I
only
listen to a
listen.
lot of different things.
Mm.
I do. When
Well, I
I'm
listen to a lot of different
I
people,
got
but
these
if they
headphones on,
never, ever, ever talk about environmental issues, I have no
forget it.
use. I have no use for them. So I really pretty much listen to those who will
Yeah.
at least occasionally bring it up. You know,
Well, in our sphere, all day long you could listen to Kevin and then
it's
collapse
not enough. If I,
Sam.
especially when
No,
my
I
phone's
listen to talk
buffering.
shows because I want the pulse of the country. I feel like because I do what I do, even though I'm only on once a week now and I don't do as much as I used to, I like to know what the pulse politically is of the country. I guess I'm somewhat of a political animal, and I'm
I
not
hear
going to
that on the
really
news
stand of
every
it.
morning, so
No, I don't. Oh, I
there's
don't
that.
listen to the
I
news.
watch the local news for the weather and stuff in the morning, and then you get the all the the corporate BS crap, um, politics and stuff along with it. Ben Wilber's here, by the way. popping in.
I
Hi,
don't
guys.
think Hartman's a sellout. I just think that what you have to do is take Tom Hartman's and where he's brilliant in many, many, many ways. You have to
Mm,
take from everyone you listen to
mm.
the good, and then what you don't agree with, you can put on a shelf. But there's
Yes,
always some value, even
ignore it.
in
Yeah.
But
hideous,
once they
horrible
lose
people
my
that I work with.
trust, I'm out. I mean, there's
Oh, Greg Palast, Moose Girl said it. Greg
oh
Palast.
yeah, I
I
liked
like
him
it.
when he was
I
talking
have
about the
a
Chris,
signed
election.
video by him. Yeah, because he's a pretty
is
cool guy.
Yeah,
is he
he's
the
good.
documentary maker?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
He
I
made
like
a
him,
d-
and I like Jane Mayer.
About the
he made a d-
corruption in the primary
Hmm.
election in 2016.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
didn't
donated
Greg
and
Palace
I
make a
signed him.
doco about New Orleans and about the corruption that happened after
Same guy.
Hurricane Katrina? Yeah, good stuff.
He's a good guy, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, I like Greg Palast, but
boy, I can't
Tom
even.
Hartman's a smart guy. I just don't understand
he's really good.
his
He's
some
vegan.
of the stuff he. It's just like I get so pissed when I listen to him and he's spouting this establishment BS that I know is not true. Like he went on the
Yeah,
Russia Gate scandal, which was just crap. And I like let's focus on real issues, not stuff that the DNC bullshitters made up just to take the attention off of them screwing up the election and blaming it on Russia. That stuff. Oh, that just
Okay.
that makes my
Well,
hair stand on end. I can't deal with it. I
so we
don't want
won't
to have
talk about it. We
anything
don't
to do
have
with
to
those
talk
people.
about it.
That's why I can't listen to it. It's
I
like
am one of those people that understands a lot of what went on. I am one of those people that keeps in touch, but I'm not a Russiagate person. I'm an educated person.
yes,
I would
thank
say,
you. I know you are. Yeah, well, but people who don't that push that, even after it was disproven, just irritate me so bad.
well, there's a lot of facets in this whole thing. I mean, we live in a global world. There are pieces and puzzles that fit together with every political system, even New
Yeah.
Zealand. Tell us about New Zealand, Trish.
um, uh, it's nice and quiet.
Progressive? Is it a
Generally
progressive run country?
progressive. Can be, yeah. It's kind of very Americanized now, like everywhere. It's a little bit like Australia, I guess, but we don't, but not as big, and the accent's slightly different, and we don't have kangaroos. But um, yeah, it's okay. It's probably I've lived in a few other countries like London. I've lived in London. I've lived in Budapest in Hungary, and I've lived in Ireland. I probably wouldn't go back there now. There's just
Ireland.
too
Wow.
many people in some of those countries now. And, it's just everything's very expensive, and yeah.
Wow. We should list or read some of the comments, guys. So pick a comment and read it if you can. Because I don't like ignoring the audience because they're fabulous.
We're not.
I
We're
can't
not.
read and talk at the same time. So it's like I just don't
I'm
want everyone
trying
to
to
talk.
read it too. It's hard because I have to look at it on the phone. But
Yeah.
Basil,
Thank you,
they're
Gene.
having the conversation
Thanks,
about
Thorstein.
what we were talking about too.
He does talk seriously about climate change. Yes, I. When he does one of those episodes, I will watch him. I admit that.
Hey, Tom Hartman.
Yes, when he does one on climate change,
He
I'll watch
does
just
really
about anybody when they do
Yeah,
an
Zach says he's
episode.
pragmatic. Yeah. And see, everybody has
Oh,
the good and the bad that I take from them. I like to believe it or not, I like the Humanist Report. I like
secular talk.
I like
I'll
the
watch them,
damage
but
report. I listen to a
yeah,
lot of different things. Not every day, because every day you've got different things to listen to, but keeps the finger on the pulse.
I know, book. We're trying to.
And I don't have to agree. I mean, I've listened
No.
to like horrible, hideous people, but I don't agree with them, but I know what they're thinking.
Yeah, well, so will I. I mean, I listen to some of even the solar minimum people because they talk about the food shortages that are coming, um, which I agree with. because they're like in the heartland and all that, and they see what's happening there. So
Mhm.
I'll listen to them for that. But when they start talking about the solar minimum crap, I'm like, okay, then I just shut it off, But I'll listen to other people. I'm pretty open minded, but when I know it's already,
I think
proven
you're
false,
open-minded.
I'm not gonna sit and listen to that, you know, crap spewing. Do I really look like I have bedhead?
Uphill Media is a good one. I
Oh,
think
I,
they're a
I
great
like
guy.
Uphill Media. I
Uphill
love
Media,
John.
Let the Madness Begin. Um, I
I
used to listen
I used
to
to listen to Let the Madness
Tim
Begin.
Black a lot. I met Tim Black. Tim Black, I know him. I like to
Yeah, I
listen
met
to.
him. I have a picture of me and him together,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Lee Camp.
Yeah, we were gonna work together. Lee Kemp, yes, him. I like to listen to him. Who else?
Hello, Polar Minimum, Lightning Rod. Hi, Lightning Rod.
Polar Minimum.
Parliament.
Tough
That's
girl,
good.
that Greta. Yeah, she is a tough girl, and she's getting all kinds of shit from all different sides,
But
and
Kermit
that's
says,
kind of
always
sad.
listen to people you most disagree with. It's good to know why people don't agree with you.
I
Well,
agree with that, but I get that
yeah,
every
I
day
do.
living in
But
Utah.
sometimes it turns my stomach, but I
Oh,
do.
me too.
I
I listen
try.
to KSL, which is a
Oh,
right wing.
Status Quo. Yes, that's pretty good.
Oh, yes,
Jordan's getting better.
Jordan. Well,
Jordan's
yeah.
getting better.
If any of you
And
didn't know, I had him on an interview on my
believe it or
channel,
not,
which got very few views, and I can't understand why.
oh, Basil, that's
But
right. We're always in the chat with Tom Hartman, Gene, Sandy, and Nicholas. Nicholas lives in Mexico. Me and Basil are in New York, and Gene's in Costa Rica.
oh, nice. I wish I had time to sit in the chat, but he is always on,
I wish I
and,
didn't
and I would.
actually sometimes.
Oh yeah. Um, every once in a while I can get on the chat if someone has a show when I'm on break or lunch or whatever, then I can get in the chat. But or in the evening when my husband's not home or whatever, because doing my shows is hard enough taking time away from my husband. So I try not to sit there and do that, while my husband's home. And
I'd like to live in Costa Rica too, Jen. Surely.
oh, nice. Abby Martin is a lot like Chris. Both are dedicated. I love Abby Martin. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
I
a that's
like
a
her too.
huge huge compliment, Val. But
I like
I have
Abby Martin.
nothing. I'm not
I like
near
Jane
as smart
Mayer.
as her. You like who?
Jane Mayer. Jane Mayer. She wrote
Oh,
the book. What was it? Dirty Money. She wrote the book that I really learned about the Koch brothers
uh-huh.
and everything she detailed. Oh my God, that was a great book. Great
Oh
book. I
man,
got like a stack of books now I'm trying to read, but I never do. I want to right
I
now, but I
know.
just
I need to finish that one book. I gotta review that one book, and it's so good. I just after all my losses, I got to a point where she was had to put her dog down, and I'm like, I
Hmm.
haven't been able to pick it up since because the two dogs I lost, like, and
oh,
then
yeah.
Bandita, the horse, and so I'm like, it's really hard for me to pick it up again right now. It's like,
Animal trauma is very hard. It's just
uh,
hard. My daughter had the dog first, a Rottweiler, the cat, and then they adopted a cat. 3 weeks later, it had to go down. 3 weeks. It
oh
was
my
horrible.
God, that's
Yeah, so
horrible.
they only have the one cat. They're not getting any more. I told her,
Yeah,
don't get any.
Daniel Gallimeyer, yep, John
I
Uphill
got them all.
Media. John is awesome. He
Yeah, John's a
really
great
is.
guy.
I've been following him since 2015. So when he was
Yeah, me
Bernie
too.
2016 TV, and
Yep.
I was on Uphill Media for like 6 months every Saturday.
You
So
did that and I did Real Progressives. So
oh
funny
yeah,
how
I
the
know.
background
It's
would
like
happen.
you
I learned everything I
talking
know
good.
though about doing a lot of this from Steve Grumbine. I mean, take him or
Oh
leave
wow,
him, but I learned that this technical shit, and I could
that's
lay in bed and
cool.
do it, feel like shit and have a bad back and be miserable, but I could still learn how to do stuff. I'm
I
not
was
dead.
trying to learn, but John's not the most patient person to work with sometimes.
Mm.
He just expects you to know it all already, and I was so green, and I was nervous as hell anyway. So
Oh,
just if you go watch the Uphill Media, I was so nervous.
oh,
But
Chris, I did see you.
that was my dipping my toe into the
I
water.
did see you.
You
Yeah.
did?
Yes.
I was also on Graham
Um,
Elwood, and
you know what I did the other
other
day,
things.
for the first time after having this laptop for 2 years, I put together the video that I did with Antonio on Be Live on Facebook,
Hmm.
the live stream, the software kicked us off. Jennifer
Is
couldn't
that
get
what
on.
happened?
Yeah, it was the
Oh,
software because I'm on their chat and all, and everybody was complaining. One girl had 800 viewers.
oh my
And she got,
gosh.
but you know what? Her channel was all about babies and shit. 800 mommies got kicked off of Be Live, but
Oh,
we had to
fuck.
stop. But for the first time, I edited it. I made it a part 1 and 2. I sat here and I just did it. I edited it. I cut out all the garbage, all of my bullshit talking. I got Antonio's pieces in. I
That was
made two,
good. I
and
watched the
I
both
can't
parts.
believe that I finally can do this.
Editing, I know I edited one little thing and I suck at it, but I did it one time. I don't even know if I can do it again. But by the way,
I
we have a
am
new
going.
viewer.
Took me years, Chris. Who's
Uh,
with us?
Kay Basham. She says Abby Martin's new film Gaza
Hi, Kay.
Fights for Freedom is worth watching. Hard to take,
Oh,
but
she's the
good.
only one not in blue.
Yeah, I well, okay, you got it. Okay, just to explain, you will get a wrench status after you've been on a few times and proven that
Oh
you're not a
yeah.
crazy
Hmm.
freakoid. So I'm giving them all wrenches because I want the people to be able to post links, and I have that ability blocked unless
Right.
you are a wrench. So it's just I get too many crazy people trying to put crazy ass links on my channel. So
I understand. I don't go live enough anymore to get too many. Oh, I did. What would I have my troll? I was so
you were
excited.
lucky just to get the one.
Oh, I loved it. It was hilarious.
I
He was
had
the
this
comic
one.
of the. I thought it's probably someone I know.
There was one called Environmental Realist, which I watched a couple videos of his, and they seemed really cool. He was talking about, nature and this and that. And then I go on there and he starts talking about how they need to oil and the fracking and all this stuff. I'm
Oh,
like,
he was a denier
you're
using
not
the
an
word environmental.
environmentalist if that's what you're talking about. So we went back and
Oh,
forth. I did a show against him, and then he did one rebuttal to me, and we went back and forth.
that's
And then he
funny.
kept going on and posting all this crap to my channel, and like, okay, that was the first person I blocked.
Oh my God. The first person you blocked.
I'll remember it. Yeah.
Can you block them anymore on YouTube?
Environmental realist and what?
Can you block anymore, or just I thought that you just like they can watch your stuff, but
They
they
can
can't
watch it,
comment.
but they can't comment.
Yeah,
Um,
that's creepy if you don't want somebody to watch.
yeah,
But
I'm
then you're
good.
on YouTube.
I don't give a shit. I mean,
Everybody knows where I am. Obviously, my whole life got wrecked by all this.
uh, I bet. Black Bear News: U.S. military collapse in 20 years due to climate change. If anyone didn't see that, let's go watch it.
Oh yeah, we put it up on the page, and we had a big conversation
Absolutely.
about it.
And that's a
Well,
DOD report.
I talked about it with Antonio.
That's from Trump's military. That's that's not some, crazy thing. That's from Trump's military, the Department of Defense.
Hmm.
That's their report.
Right. I know.
So,
And that's what's really chilling about it, because that's when that's when you start thinking, there's a club and we're not in it.
yep.
And and I don't, as I said on my video with Antonio the night, I don't like to think conspiracy like, but I'm thinking, my God, everybody in all these countries, they're going pushing right ahead with all of this development of gas and LNG, and Russia wants to go through the Arctic, and like they don't give a shit because they all know it's the last hurrah, and we're
Y-
not in that club.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't want to be in that club. Do you, Trisha?
No.
Me either.
Hmm.
Me either.
No.
Okay, who needs to be helped out? Basil? Oh, Mitchell's here. Hi, Mitchell. One of my textbook
Is that
blames
snow?
all air pollution on trees, even talking about blue mist from trees in the mountains. Really? You'll have to come on and tell me what that's about, because that's weird. Maybe jump on Monday if you can. If Val hasn't scared you away. Val will be nice, I promise.
Oh, I think Val has come out of his shell. It's just one. I mean, he's always been out of a shell, but he now has a platform. It's wonderful, because I
I love
first came
having
upon
him on.
him on Humpty Dumpty Tribe and used to go back and forth. And when he used to talk about his girlfriends and all this, but he's blossomed,
Oh,
so
he's
to speak.
But
awesome. We're so close now. It's like he's like my
It's
brother or something.
wonderful.
It's
I
sweet.
think it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
really
being
new.
I'm just trying to read the comments.
Okay,
It's
what
really
Trisha?
new. I was just going to say
Oh,
it's really nerve-wracking doing this if you're not used to it because you get to make a fool of yourself in front of the entire world.
Yeah, well, it is
So,
hard at
you know,
first. You get used to it.
or put your foot in your mouth or something.
I make a fool of
So,
myself probably with everything I do, but at the
so
point
do I.
I'm at, I don't care.
Honestly, Monday I said so many things I probably should have kept to myself, but I had
Shit, I fell asleep. I'll have to watch it tomorrow.
don't.
Why?
I'm thinking of making it private. I think I'm gonna make it
No, let me
private.
listen to it on my headphones while I'm finishing
No,
up
I
goddamn
shared secrets
abortion
that
beef.
I haven't even
Oh,
shared with my kids. So
damn, I really missed a good show.
it's I lost 3 subscribers though. That's how bad it was. I lost 3 subscribers.
Well, I want to be the judge, but I didn't listen because I've been listening to everything else, but I would have listened. I fell asleep. I've been
It
tired.
was tough. I've been tired too,
I
not
get
getting
up
home
early though,
till
get shit done before my old man gets up.
mm,
He sleeps late,
Bezos says
which is
China's
good.
Belt and Road is growing exponentially. I know it's that okay, the inland port I always bitch about here that they're building without the EPA environmental study, whatever, environmental impact study. They are part of the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. So it happens
Yeah,
everywhere. It's affecting everywhere. You can probably
everywhere.
find something in your state that is a part of that Chinese belt. And they're
Everywhere.
buying up farmland like crazy just so they can
Here,
ship.
there's another farm. Well, besides Smithfield, they want the pig farms. There's I don't know if it's just a Chinese company. They want to buy. Oh God, I wish I remembered this story. What state it is? There's so many stories, but it would just completely destroy the neighborhood for pork. You know, for pork and
No
they
more
can't.
factory
It.
farming
Oh, it's
ever.
horrible.
That is
That's
one
why we
something
really.
we should all
See,
stand against is
that's
factory
why
farming.
I'm invested in the person I am because I think that, at least maybe we could see a little something different in the
Factory farm.
country. Because if what I want to happen doesn't happen, and we have 4 more years of the fucking asshole we've got now, it's going to be done. Goodbye.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Factory
Trisha.
farming.
Even though it is
Uh,
already.
Yeah.
that's okay. Sorry.
Oh,
Factory farming is one of the worst things that human beings have ever come up with. Factory farming is one of the reasons that people are going vegan in droves because there's a lot of documentaries that have come out, footage all over the internet of what exactly goes on there. And it is just unbelievable. I mean, it even has turned the most hardened meat eater vegan just because it's so cruel and
oh.
unnatural, disgusting, environmentally damaging. Yeah, it's just
We have
horrible.
a new viewer, Goddess Four Winds. Welcome
Hi.
and thank you for coming.
I
Welcome to
got
the
us 4 wins.
family.
Yep.
So cool. Anyway, so yeah, we were talking. There's a comment about the pigs in China, and
Mm.
yeah, it's
They set them on
they're
fire.
burying them alive. That's also what happened Monday
They
because we were talking
they
about
don't. They
Mm.
light them on fire. They pour petrol into the pits and burn them alive.
yeah, it's just
It's
god
But
awful.
you
I
see,
They're smart
probably not
animals,
just in
any
China.
topic we
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
is not good.
right?
yeah.
Except I think the tree projects, I love the tree projects all around the world. Yes, they may not do whatever, but in Africa and Dr. Chidboom that Antonio had interviewed. I mean, the people are doing things, and I still have some faith in the human spirit. It's just too little too
Torstein,
late.
like the woman
These
get a
people.
nuclear war already. What? Women are less
Book
likely to
Hermit
push the button, I
thinks
think.
Book Hermit thinks that's the only way.
Is what nuclear
There's
war?
Yeah, it's war that will end all this. He thinks that's how it's going to
I
happen. It
I
won't be
think it's
climate change.
probably,
I think
probably.
it's going to be collapse and then the nuclear power plants
Uh-huh.
melting down will do the same damn thing as nuclear war. So
Yeah. Well, I think we've got three in the southern hemisphere, so we might be all right.
Oh, I'm hot.
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
hot.
know.
The door's closed.
But I
Whew.
think it's gonna be like
But no,
certain
just
places are
kidding.
gonna.
Yeah,
Are
it's
you okay,
terrible.
Sandy? Are you getting hot flashes?
Yeah, I think my stove is like making the house hot, and I'm wearing a flannel shirt in the house. How
I know.
stupid.
This is cold weather, the vest thing.
Yeah,
It's
I'm going to open the door. Just a
okay.
minute,
Go
'cause I'm
open the
dying.
door.
I'm dying. I don't want
No,
the
I forgot
cat.
where I was. Um,
That's the
Um,
thing. They
yeah.
come in and
Anyway,
all
the
over everything.
waters are going to be are
Okay,
warming to the point
okay.
where they can't cool the reactors
they're
anymore.
acidic.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem.
If I really get hot, I'll change my shirt.
There you
But
go.
they're too acidic as well, Chris. So the algae, which is the basis of all life, I think, biologically,
Yeah.
is being destroyed by ocean acidification as well.
Yeah, and the algae blooms and all that
Yeah.
are it gets too warm and then they create all kinds of chemicals and it creates dead zones in the oceans and it's just a nightmare. I mean, okay, every
Isn't
place is going
it?
to experience it at a different rate and a different issue. So you're going to have extreme weather events, you're going to have extreme heat, you're going to have extreme cold, you're going to have um, pollutants. You're going to have food shortages because you can't have a full growing season anymore because the extremes will
And
be
crops
too
are failing.
flexible.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be there's going to be the nuclear plants that they should be decommissioning right now. They should be decommissioning them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And
but they're not going to. But I don't know if that's a blessing or a bad thing. I don't know. But I know it's bad.
just
I just know it's bad.
everything's connected. So if something happens in one
Oh
part
my
of the
God, I'm
world,
so
like
hot. Ooh.
everything's connected.
Aw, thanks, Tanya. She said, told you we would bring more people. Community is a powerful thing. Yes, it is. And
It
right
is.
now is when we need our community. We need to stay close. We need to work out all the issues, even if we're not on the same page of everything. I will say that again and again. We don't always have to be on the exact same page on every single issue, because some of
No,
us
that would be
are
boring.
working through this in our minds. I know for sure. And I've changed a lot over the last 6 months. Like my
Hmm.
positions have evolved with the more knowledge that I gain. And I expect that from everybody. And I don't expect everybody to be on the same level. And plus there's just different opinions on what to do at this point. So
Right.
we need these discussions. We need them badly.
And they're great discussions. They're
Yeah,
great
I think
discussions.
so. I mean, it makes me feel better.
I wish I could get that team at, I wish I could get the four of us together. We almost had it, but then we would have been kicked off because of the stinking software that they have to fix the problem. Subscription
Oh,
software, Be Live.
well, I wish Maggie would have shown up. Dang it, that's like
Yeah, me too.
twice. Like, Maggie, I love you. She did send me hugs from the last one, but come on, Maggie,
Well, we've been
you're
on a
listening.
while, huh?
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
almost time to
might
go. We're
do?
20 minutes over the hour, and
I might
I
play
know
with
you're getting
this.
uncomfortable, Sandy, because you only last so long when you're back. I understand.
But I've had a good week.
Yes,
And
yeah,
and tonight
that's
I
good.
don't know, I'm drinking coffee, I'm smoking my vape. I feel like I could go forever. But you have those marathon shows on Mondays.
Yes, yes.
I might download this and edit it, Chris, and surprise you. You know, try to do that. You
You
too,
can do
Trish.
that. I would
Yeah, I
love
might
it.
do it if I can download a long one. Sometimes that doesn't work with my modem, but we'll see.
Well, you never know. Can't you just put it on like in your software, your where you record things and just record a part of
Yeah,
it or
but you
something?
have to edit it. You have to download it
But if you
into.
only record a part, like the best part that you like, and record that part on your software and then download that part, or wait, it'd already be downloaded because you were recording it,
Yeah, I got to download the
and then
whole thing
edit
and
it.
edit it. Yeah, I got to cut it, trim it, edit it.
Yeah,
Put
I don't know
the
how to do that, but
I'm learning. That's why I'm so excited because I actually did it. I mean, it was really earth shaking because I never thought I'd get it. I've been making videos on the
I
stinking
know.
phone with
I
Splice.
oh
I
well.
finally am using this ridiculously expensive that I can't afford anymore laptop I got in 2017. You know what? And my internet's ridiculous too.
This
I'm looking at
laptop I got in
things.
2016, so hey.
Yeah, but I'm trying to look for a different carrier. I think my internet is like ridiculously priced.
Oh, I know mine is, but well, I got
Ugh.
the best deal I could get. But anyway, we should read some comments and then
Okay.
tell everybody good night and give
I
everyone
had a good
bye.
time.
Yeah, I did too, and I'm really excited that we had some new people pop in. And
Yeah, come to
of course the
Environmental
old people.
Coffee House as well. We have a
Yes,
Facebook,
Environmental Coffee
yep,
House.
Facebook page and
Torstein
a
going
YouTube.
south is good
Yep,
too. He's
going south.
um I don't know. Basil has a channel and he shows some really
Yeah,
fun stuff on his channel too. Um, it's just really cool country stuff. So if you like that, go
I
there.
love their house. I love
Ah,
hanging out there. It's fun.
thank you, Kay. Thank you for coming. I hope you come back. Come back a couple more times and you'll get a little wrench too. Jilly, it's
Yeah.
so awesome to always see you. You're fabulous. Make my day. And Osama and Gazar. And okay, who else am I? Mitchell. We don't need nuclear power. We haven't even implemented half of the alternative power sources or revamp the
Well,
grid
and we
yet.
don't even have the technology that people say, oh, thorium, oh, this, oh, that. The technology is not even there. And so if they fart around for 20 years, we're going to be screwed anyway to make this
Yeah,
technology. Okay, I'm not going to
it'll
get
take
into it.
two. Kent Deal. Yes,
He's
you're
been here for a
late. We're
while.
just about ready to go, hon. All right. But thanks for coming, Kent. Um, let's
Well,
see.
thank you, everyone.
Tanya,
Thank you.
Val, make Hambone dictator of the world. He'll be harsh. He
Yes.
won't be cruel. He'll be just, but he will save the planet.
I'm
Dictator.
not
I
sure
agree with
about
him
that.
on 99.9% of the issues. So yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
Me too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who
Julie
else?
says, have fun
Am I
all.
missing anybody? I didn't see Shiva today. That's funny.
She has two names. I saw her on another show today. She used her actual last name. I forgot what it was, but I knew it was her. It was Shiva something.
ah,
It had to be her. Maybe she doesn't, but it
I don't
sounded like
know.
her.
I don't.
It was a
I
nice
only know
comment.
her real first name. So I don't know if that's her actual.
Oh, maybe it was a different person because I
Okay,
was thinking might
Goddess,
have been
thank you
her.
for coming. Please, I hope you come again because it's really cool to have you. I love that
Yep.
name, by the way. Pretty cool.
And let's try to keep up with
And Aunt Tina,
the
and
world,
yeah,
keep up with the Arctic
three
ice,
more
keep up with
people.
what's going to happen if we're going to have a COP
Zox. Did
for
I
the
say hi
parties.
to Zox? I'm pretty sure I said hi to Zox, but there's repeating. Jean,
And everyone keep Stuart Scott in your
Book Hermit.
um in your karmic sending good health to Hawaii waves of
Okay, sending
scientists
good
warning.
health to Hawaii.
Yes, for Stuart Scott. He's,
No, seriously, I mean that. Um, I saw Scott Murto earlier. I don't know where he went. Bio, love ya. I saw Human. Um, am I missing anybody? I always try to get everybody, but
bye, Osama.
Daniel.
Orstein Kent.
Uh,
Bio Michael Jilly. We can
is
make a song.
Torstein having an
More.
after show tonight, or I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
If he does, I'm laying in bed watching
Is
it.
he
That's
going south?
all
That Shiva is with you. You wish.
right.
Okay. Well, anyway, no show. Okay, Torstein's not having a show, but always check with him to see if he's doing a show, an after show, because he likes to do that.
Yeah.
Saves the ice expense
Okay.
side.
Well, bye,
Yeah.
Val,
Thank
too.
you, Asama. Okay, guys, we are gonna go. You gals say goodbye. I'm saying
What's my
goodbye.
next show? Friday night, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Friday
I
night.
didn't even
That's when you're
advertise
doing it.
anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
All right. Well,
so.
we'll watch for Environmental Coffee House for a show on Friday, and
Yeah.
of course, I'll be back on Monday. And
And Trisha, all our love to New Zealand.
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
So hold on, guys. Say goodbye, Trisha.
Bye bye.
Thank you guys for coming in. And hold on for a sec. We'll talk to you soon.